AI crossed a line this week. It stopped helping teams do work and started deciding how the work gets done. OpenAI GPT 5.3 Codex and Frontier platform. OpenAI made execution explicit. GPT 5.3 Codex and the Frontier platform are designed to run long-lived tasks, adapt mid-process, and continue work without constant prompts. Operationally, that means work can advance even when humans step away. For SMBs, the change isn't access, it's inheritance. These execution behaviors will cascade into everyday tools. Defaults will favor speed and autonomy over review. Teams that don't redesign checkpoints will discover that done no longer means approved. The failure mode is momentum. Agents can complete tasks successfully while drifting from the original business objective. Without explicit stop conditions, small misinterpretations compound. The fix isn't to slow AI down, it's to design authority boundaries, escalation rules, and outcome ownership before delegation becomes the default. OpenClaw's surge in attention highlights what happens when frontier agents escape lab conditions. These systems are goal-persistent, self-correcting, and capable of operating across tools without waiting for step-by-step approval. Operationally, this exposes a blind spot. Many teams assume agents will pause when uncertain. Frontier agents don't. They push forward. If constraints aren't explicit, they'll optimize for task completion, not business intent. The failure mode is not malicious behavior. It's silent misalignment. An agent can execute flawlessly while doing the wrong thing. SMBs should treat frontier agents like junior operators with speed but limited judgment. That means strict scope, audit logs, and the ability to halt execution instantly when signals drift. Gemini's workspace upgrades move office work from assistive to procedural. Emails trigger actions, documents update themselves, and meetings generate follow-ups automatically. This reduces coordination overhead, but it also removes the informal human buffer that used to catch errors. When work advances by default, review becomes an exception rather than a rule. The failure mode is ownership erosion. When actions happen automatically, teams struggle to answer who approved them. Errors surface late after propagation. The operational fix is to decide which tasks are procedural and which remain review-based, and to document exception handling so humans know when to intervene. Claude Opus 4.6 adds stronger reasoning and persistent memory. AI no longer resets after each session. It carries context across days or weeks. This unlocks real workflows, ongoing client support, internal ops, long-running analysis, but it also changes risk. A misunderstanding today can shape decisions tomorrow unless memory boundaries are defined. The failure mode is compounding error. Teams assume each interaction is isolated when it's not. The operational response is to decide what the model should remember, when memory expires, and how corrections overwrite prior context. Persistent memory demands lifecycle management, not blind trust. Shopify's AI storefront tools embed continuous experimentation into the platform. Layouts, pricing cues, and messaging can change automatically based on performance signals. This accelerates execution for SMBs, but it also introduces directionless optimization. AI will optimize for the metric you give it, even if that metric undermines margin, brand trust, or long-term value. The failure mode is drift. Stores optimize themselves into a corner. The operational fix is to define success constraints up front, margin floors, brand rules, customer experience thresholds. Optimization should operate within guardrails, not rewrite strategy by accident. HubSpot's journey orchestration shifts marketing from campaign building to system supervision. Journeys adapt in real time across channels based on behavior signals. This reduces manual effort but increases opacity. When conversion changes, it's harder to trace why. The system's logic becomes the product. The failure mode is untraceable. Teams can't debug what they can't see. Operationally, SMBs need journey maps, escalation rules, and ownership for AI-driven changes. Automation should be observable and reversible, not a black box that only surfaces results. Stripe's AI-assisted forecasting moves finance from reporting the past to anticipating the future. Revenue trends, churn risk, and cash flow signals surface earlier. This improves reaction time, but only if forecasts are treated as signals, not decisions. The danger is premature action based on probabilistic output. The failure mode is overconfidence. Teams cut, spend, or freeze hiring based on a forecast without validating assumptions. The operational approach is scenario planning. Use forecasts to ask better questions, test assumptions, and prepare contingencies, not to automate financial decisions outright. Intuit's AI decision support pushes accounting and payroll into advisory roles. Tools increasingly recommend actions rather than just reporting data. For SMBs, this is leverage, but judgment doesn't disappear. Timing, regulation, and real-world constraints still matter. The failure mode is passive acceptance. Owners treat recommendations as answers. The operational fix is validation. Define which recommendations require human review and which can proceed automatically. Advisory AI should augment judgment, not replace it. Notion's project agents turn planning and documentation into execution environments. Tasks update, blockers surface, and status moves forward automatically. This reduces coordination friction, but it also blurs accountability. When progress updates itself, responsibility can diffuse. The failure mode is phantom progress. Projects appear active, while real movement stalls. Operationally, teams must define intervention points. Who steps in when AI flags a blocker, and what authority that person has to resolve it. Execution without ownership is illusion. Actions to take now. 1. Identify one workflow you will allow AI to carry across weeks, not just sessions. Persistent memory changes how work compounds. Choose intentionally. 2. Decide which office tasks should become procedural instead of review-based. Procedural execution requires clear exception rules. 3. Pause any always-on optimization until you define what success actually means. Optimization without constraints leads to drift. 4. Choose one process where automation failure would be unacceptable and block AI from it. This is a risk decision, not a capability decision. Subscribe to the AI Business Brief to stay ahead of real AI shifts. Watch the next video in our playlist to see what's changing next.